Hi everyone, it's Cindy and welcome back to the channel. I am so glad that you joined me today. Today we are back building in the world of San Sequoia and we were back in my custom built Anchor Point Wharf apartment building, and today we are furnishing apartment unit number 3, and this is for an elderly couple who I would imagine are grandparents, and they also have a small dog, so I'm going to be adding in some pet items to this apartment as well. And I really hope that you enjoy this. I had so much fun building this apartment, and this came together so quickly and easily. It was insane. But I had a lot of fun because I'm using a lot of the items from the new Basement Treasures kit. But more on that in just a moment. If you do enjoy this build and you want to add it to your game, I am going to be posting this apartment, this entire lot to the gallery. Right now, I do have the empty shell of this custom apartment building on the gallery, and you can find that through my EA ID or hashtag Hyggehaven. That's HYGGEHAVEN. So the shell is currently available, and then once I have finished decorating all 6 apartments inside, then I will upload a second version that is fully decorated, and you will be able to download that to your game as well. I will add a link in the cards if you want to take a look at the previous builds, but finish watching this one and then you can wander over there and watch that as well. So yes, today we are making this elderly apartment, and like I said, I have leaned very heavily on the Basement Treasures kit, which is newly released just within the last week, and it is awesome. I am loving this kit so much. But I also leaned very heavily on Growing Together, of course, because that is also still very new. And I used a lot of cottage living and cats and dogs items because I felt like they really went with the aesthetic of kind of like an older, outdated kind of look, which is what I was going for here. Unlike like with the student studio and even kind of the detective PI department apartment that I did earlier, where I was going, especially with the student one, I was going for a lot more like grunge and kind of messy look. That wasn't the aesthetic I was aiming for this apartment. Really, what I wanted to kind of give the impression of for this apartment, because it's an elderly couple, I was really just going for more like outdated items and like original fixtures that maybe haven't been modernized, and furniture that they probably bought several decades ago and they've just never like updated or replaced, because it was comfortable and lived in, and so it's just the originals, and they're a bit old now, but I think that gives this apartment such charm. So here in the kitchen, this is a combined kitchen living room space, and you'll see that, previously I kind of laid out like where I wanted the kitchen area with the cabinets and the new sofa from the Basement Treasures kit, and then I went back and kind of filled things in. So the kitchen is mostly finished. I've managed to talk through pretty much all of it. I used like these older counters that I used in my Ballatin build, and a lot of kind of the country kitchen little bits and bobs for the clutter and things like that. And here I've moved on to the living room a bit more. And you'll see I was kind of auditioning what to use for a side table here. I really like this Growing Together side table, and I would have loved to have used the cabinet TV from the Basement Treasures, but it's not functional as a TV. And I get that you can't have both a TV and a table functionality for an item in the game, but I would have loved for them to have made it a functional TV, and then I could have just like used move objects in the red shelf to put things on top of it. So I was really disappointed I couldn't use that. So I did also really want to use the new coffee table that came with the Basement Treasures, particularly in that really light wood that doesn't look so damaged, but there just wasn't space in this living room, unfortunately. But I am putting in the landline phone, which you'll see, it might seem a little bit strange that I kind of have it tucked in a corner on this little end table, but for people of, well, even before my generation, look, I'm in my mid 40s, but I do remember like when landline and older phones were a thing. You had a dedicated television table, or not television, you had a dedicated television. Okay, I can't talk now. You had a dedicated telephone table, and that's what I wanted to model here. So that's why it's just kind of tucked away. It's got some post-it notes and things like that because that's, what people used to do. So just adding in some clutter here again, little bits and bobs. I really liked how these shelves turned out. I was kind of envisioning that for the wife, as she is very much into pink, which you can see is a very common color that I've used throughout in the wallpaper and the soft furnishings like the sofa and the rug and the curtains and so forth. And then I thought for the husband, he would probably have been into fishing, so we get some fishing decor in here. And I added in this bowling pin and the trophies from the basement clutter kit, which I've had to size down quite a bit to fit on these shelves, but I got them to fit in there. And not every trophy needs to be huge, and that is fine. And I also put in this little craft flower thing because I figure like their grandchild or children might have made that at some point, and that's a little memento that they keep from the grandchildren. So I thought that was really cute. And we've got like the little kind of broken bear statue that came with the basement treasures. And of course, the little candy jar of sweets from the paranormal stuff pack. And that gorgeous new little, this one, the little plant from the Greenhouse Haven kit. Love her. She is gorgeous. Want more. Thank you very much. And we've got like the little older games clutter back there. When I was first planning to make this apartment, I was really hoping to be able to fit in like the new standing piano because I haven't used that yet and I really, really want to. And also maybe like the puzzle table because I know like my grandmother, she used to do a lot of puzzles. She's kind of gotten out of that phase now, but she used to puzzle like every single day. And I thought that'd be kind of cute to add in here. But again, there just wasn't a whole lot of space. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to add those in. And I did mean to add the cross stitch box for the wife, and then I completely forgot. So sorry, there is no cross stitch kit in here. But of course, you could always add that in if you want to do so, should you download this apartment. But yeah, the living room's kind of coming along really well. I really like how this turned out. It was so much fun. I really hope you like it because I had a blast doing this. And like I said, it came together so quickly. It was pretty awesome. And this is almost everything now for the kitchen and the living room. And we are going to be heading in very shortly into the bedroom, and just wanted to add in one of those new picture frames that we got with Basement Treasures. So here we are moving into the bedroom, and I thought that for an elderly couple, particularly if the wife was into like cross stitch and other textile arts, we absolutely needed a quilt on the bed. So this is, I think, one of the cats and dogs beds, and it's got a nice quilt on it. And I also put carpet in the bedroom. And I am not personally IRL a fan of carpet, but a lot of older people do like wall-to-wall carpet, particularly if you live in North America. So I've put wall-to-wall carpet in the bedroom. And this lamp, this is the new table lamp from the Basement Treasures. And I actually tried to initially put it on the telephone table in the living room. And I don't know what is like broken with this lamp, but you can't like freely move it around on the grid for some reason. It's very, very strange. So I did not use it over there, but it worked really well here in the bedroom. It does flicker a little bit, so if that's a problem for you, if you are affected by flickering lights, then I would recommend swapping that out. And you can enable, there's an emotional aura that you can enable, but it will make your Sims feel tense and stressed. So maybe you don't want to enable that. But again, if you don't want those features, you can easily swap it out for another lamp. But yeah, we're just adding a couple things here. Again, some of the new pictures that came with the basement kit. And then we're going to do the second half of the bedroom where I put in like a little wardrobe with a mirror and kind of clutter that up in a little rocking chair and things like that. And we also did get the dog bed in here too. But I'm curious to know, I'd love to know in the comments, let me know, like, do you play any households with elders? Because I, in my own save game, usually play on like the normal lifespan. And even still, I find like a lot of times my elders die off too quickly. So I don't tend to have a lot of households with elders in them. So I'd love to know, do you ever play households with elders? And if you do, is it like an elderly couple? Or do you play like a multi-generational house where you have like the current generation, but the grandparents or one grandparent still lives with them along with the younger generations? I think that would be really interesting to find out. And also, like, what lifespan do you play on? Do you play on the normal lifespan or the long lifespan? I mean, I don't know how many people would play on the short lifespan because that is crazy short. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on that because it is interesting to see, what people do in their game. Anyway, moving on to the bathroom. This is the final room in the apartment because, as I said, it is small. And again, it's kind of a little bit outdated. It's not like really super old, but it's just a little bit dated. Like you got kind of like the green tile, which aren't, so modern anymore. And I went for like an older tile on the floor and kind of older, sink and toilet fixtures and things like that. But how great are these new slots on like the back of the toilet and the sink? I did not have to get the red shelf out to place anything in here. It was awesome. I love that they added that functionality in. It was long overdue, to be honest. So that was quite frankly awesome. But we're nearly done here. So just adding in a few final touches in the bathroom. But if you've enjoyed this video, a like is much appreciated. If you're new, consider subscribing to the channel and click that bell to be notified. And stay tuned for the final 3 builds in this apartment. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed building it. I will leave you with the screenshots and have a lovely day.